Hello, and welcome to Rocky Hession, who's a candidate for Lafayette School Board. And Rocky, would you like to take a minute and introduce yourself to your voters?
Well, I'm Rocky Hession. I've been living I was born here. And I went to local I'll get it right. I went to Edgelia and Tecumseh and graduated from CC. Um, and I have been involved in the last 5 or 6 years with the Fairfield Township. I was on the board for 4 years, and I'm now working down there doing the books for the township and helping with budgets. I have gotten an idea of what uh, funding from public service does, and I see issues and things going on with the schools for the number of years. My wife does a daycare, and we have watched kids for 30 years. So we see the problems that they're facing and the challenges that are there quite a bit, and I'm seeing if I can help.
Thank you very much. The first question I have for you tonight is how you see the role of the school board as it relates to the administration, to the faculty, to the parents, to the students.
Well, we're the beginning. The administration, superintendent administers like a board, a person like that I do with the township. The trustee runs that. Superintendent runs the schools and has his staff that does that, and they hire the people. We're the ones that set the policy, and the board does, and create the rules that everything is executed and run underneath. That's pretty much the same as whether it's in a lot of forms of government. It's the same way.
Thank you. Okay, my next question's a little different. It's a fill in the blank question.
Hmm.
So the public schools are blank.
Necessary. We are the first run. Everybody comes to the public schools or first. That's the first option. If they can afford to go someplace else, they can. I did. I went to CC and graduated from that. I then went on to, Purdue and Clark College where I got a degree in Indianapolis. So it's necessary. It's it's as old as the United States, basically. Go ahead.
Thank you. Okay. Um, School finances are very complex, mostly due to state regulations. And you said that working as the Fairfield Township bookkeeper, you've been dealing with government finance, but have you done anything to educate yourself about the way school finance works?
Well, yes, I have been looking at, I have access, everybody has access to Gateway. And I've been looking at the budget that is in existence and has been for the last couple of years for the school board itself and the schools and everything it runs underneath. Um, Obviously, I don't understand it as well as the people who are currently on the board because they've had more
Mhm.
time to work with it. And I understand that because I was on the board and uh, it was a struggle to find out information we needed.
Mhm.
But we did it and we got it, and now I'm working with it on an ongoing basis. It's just a matter of taking the time and really settling down and learning it.
Thank you. Um, would you see your role on the school board as primarily representing your constituents' views or also expressing your own opinions?
Um, the opinions I have are dictated by the policy. I mean, my own opinion is basically, do you trust me to do the right thing by for the children and for the parents and for the administration to give them the tools to need to do all three of these elements outside of the board uh, have to do their part. The parents in raising the children and learning, the teachers, administrators, that all those things have to work together for it to be successful. If people aren't, then it's more challenging. And we have to be aware of what's going on with that. And I've seen it personally in the kids. We've had over 300 children we've watched over 30 years in the daycare. And they've all had different types of situations going on. And full families, partial family, one parent, grandparents being in charge of the kids, going through separation, issues like that. So we've seen them all. And it's hard on the kids. The kids are the first ones to get injured when things like that happen. And people aren't really aware of it. But I am because I came from a divorced family. So I know and I understand what they're going through. So the answer is to all of them, but each duty is particular to their role in the whole thing.
Thank you. Um, it seems like school boards have become the focus of several hot button social issues. And a lot of that seems to be driven by outside groups. Do you have any plans for ways to listen to your constituents rather than those outside groups?
Without knowing what the groups are, I have to assume that they're creating problems
Mhm.
to a certain point. I'm not, the outside groups can be a provider for information, but it's more important for me to listen to the children and the parents and the teachers to see what it is that they need and to make my decisions on. So as I've had to learn on when I was on the board, I had to figure out what my role was. And I had to do it according to not my personal beliefs, but my beliefs of what is right for the situation. And there's where judgment comes in.
Thank you so much. We still have a minute and a half remaining. So I want to ask you, are
Yeah.
there any issues that we haven't addressed that you would like to address with your voters?
Well, we've had a number of stories in the news in the last couple of years that have really gotten their attention, whether it's a parent getting on the bus and beating a child, we, uh, my daughter's best friend growing up was somebody who went to Jeff, and some of the discussions that were going on were just terribly disturbing because they aren't designed. A lot of kids don't realize what they're wanting to be when they grow up. All they see is right now. And children like even high school kids can act like children, or they can act like adults, and that's up to them. Um, but we see a lot of turmoil going on in the community, whether it's people breaking glass down at and the demonstrations going on. I'm not pointing fingers specifically at any one group. It's just that there seems to be a lot of anger out there, and we've got to figure out what we can do to bring that under control and to actually get something done positive.
Thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Okay.
And do you have a website or anywhere where voters could possibly look up any more information?
I don't have a website. I'm a grassroots type person. I have an email address with is rockyh2k@yahoo.com. I have a cell phone if they have questions. Can't promise to pick them up and answer right away, but I will. Eventually 765 237 1480. And and I'm in the we're in the phone book. So
Okay.
anybody can find me. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.